Multiculturalism in Europe has sparked debates with diverse viewpoints. Think of Europe as a busy market square, filled with people from all over the world. Some praise this diverse mix, calling it a celebration of differences. Others worry about chaos, thinking society is falling apart. This is where the drama of multiculturalism unfolds. Is it a beautiful tapestry woven with diverse cultures, enriching Europe with fresh flavors and ideas? Or is it a ticking time bomb, threatening to crack the continent apart under the weight of its own diversity? This debate isn't about simple answers, but about understanding the delicate dance between embracing differences and holding on to a shared sense of belonging. In this video, we're diving into the heart of a debate that shapes Europe's future. Will diversity be our downfall or our greatest strength? Let's find out together. Multiculturalism is a philosophy or policy promoting the coexistence of diverse cultural, ethnic, and religious groups in a unified society. It highlights recognizing, accepting, and equally accommodating various cultural traditions. The goal is to create an inclusive environment that respects and values the contributions of individuals from different backgrounds. Multiculturalism aims to foster understanding, tolerance, and collaboration among people with diverse identities and experiences. The discussion around multiculturalism has been the subject of ongoing debate. In a significant speech at a Munich security conference in February 2011, former British Prime Minister David Cameron asserted that multiculturalism in Britain has failed to provide a vision of society in which members of all ethnic groups feel they want to belong. According to Cameron and others, the perceived failure of multiculturalism stems from multiple layers. Firstly, it is argued that multiculturalism has inadvertently encouraged exclusion rather than inclusion, leading to the isolation of minority communities from the mainstream and fostering parallel lives. Secondly, the maintenance of parallel lives is seen as preserving ethnic behaviors and values that may run counter to broader societal norms. Thirdly, the dispersion of communities living in isolation is seen as fertile ground for radicalization. Similar concerns were voiced by other prominent figures, including former German Chancellor Angele Merkel and former French President Nicolas Sarkozy. In October 2010, Merkel acknowledged that attempts to create a multicultural society in Germany had utterly failed, stating that people from different cultural backgrounds living harmoniously side by side was not effective. This sentiment aligns with the views of other leaders, such as former Spanish Prime Minister José María Aznar and Australia's former Prime Minister John Howard. Both expressed skepticism about the successful integration of immigrants in their respective countries under multicultural policies. Despite the critical perspectives on multiculturalism, Anthony Heath, 2012, offers a different viewpoint. In the British context, he implies that not all ethnic communities behave in ways that run counter to broader society's values. Similarly, Anthony Giddens, in his book Turbulent and Mighty Continent, What Future for Europe?, strongly opposes the notion that multiculturalism has been a disaster. He contends that the world has moved on from the early days in which the notion of multiculturalism was originally framed to what he terms interculturalism, Giddens 2014-15. According to Giddens, this later concept is better suited for understanding the context of the age of superdiversity in which, as a result of the internet, we now live. Opposition to multiculturalism often stems from several perspectives. Those who resist this approach tend to strongly emphasize cultural nationalism, prioritizing the preservation of a dominant national culture perceived as under threat. They fear cultural dilution, believing that embracing cultural diversity may erode traditional values and weaken national cohesion. This opposition manifests in an anti-immigration stance, particularly against culturally distinct groups, arguing that large-scale immigration can lead to social integration failures and cultural clashes. There is skepticism towards cultural relativism, with a rejection of the idea that all cultures are equally valid, as it could potentially justify harmful practices under the guise of cultural respect. Central to this perspective is an emphasis on assimilation, advocating for immigrants and minorities to fully adopt the dominant culture's values and customs for the sake of national unity. Far-right arguments against multiculturalism often express concerns about the changing face of Europe, potential threats to Christian heritage, the creation of parallel societies, and resistance to cultural adaptation by immigrants. On the other hand, Multiculturalism finds support among those aligned with far-left perspectives, prioritizing universal human rights and equality regardless of cultural backgrounds. They critique what they perceive as cultural imperialism, opposing policies favoring dominant cultures that they view as oppressive and exclusionary towards marginalized groups. Advocates for multiculturalism within far-left circles strongly emphasize social justice, calling for policies addressing the root causes of social and economic inequalities experienced by immigrant and minority communities. These proponents also champion cultural autonomy, supporting the right of minority cultures to maintain their traditions and practices. They believe that promoting intercultural understanding and respect contributes to a more inclusive society. Criticizing capitalism and globalization, they argue that economic pressures and inequalities fuel tensions between different cultures, advocating for radical systemic changes. Far-left arguments in favor of multiculturalism celebrate diversity, viewing it as an enriching force that brings different perspectives and experiences to society. They argue for equal rights and opportunities for immigrants and minorities without assimilation into a dominant culture. Additionally, they emphasize addressing the root causes of racism and discrimination, rejecting scapegoating based on cultural differences. Ultimately, they believe that cultural exchange and mutual understanding can break down barriers and contribute to building a more just and equitable society. Furthermore, the interplay of population dynamics, birth rates, and aging profoundly influences multicultural policies in Europe. Rapid immigration-driven population growth poses challenges to resource allocation and integration. Low birth rates contribute to aging populations, sometimes fostering resistance to multiculturalism among older generations. Striking a balance requires policies promoting family-friendly environments and bridging generational gaps. The aging population strains social services, but a multicultural approach can alleviate this by bringing diverse skills and labor. Economic concerns arise from a shrinking workforce due to aging, emphasizing the importance of immigrants contributing to economic productivity. Resistance to cultural changes among older generations underscores the need for intergenerational dialogue and educational initiatives. Successfully navigating these demographic complexities is essential for policymakers seeking to build a harmonious and inclusive multicultural society in Europe, ensuring that diversity is viewed as a source of strength rather than a challenge. Economically, a diverse population, particularly immigrants, significantly contributes to synergy. They fill labor gaps, address skill shortages, and bring entrepreneurial spirit, fostering innovation in industries like healthcare and STEM. This diversity also stimulates consumer markets by creating new demands, attracting investment, and expanding market opportunities. Germany's historical example demonstrates how skilled Turkish immigrants contributed to the country's economic boom in the 1960s-70s. This interconnected relationship showcases how multiculturalism not only enriches society socially but also serves as a driving force behind economic vibrancy in European nations. However, multiculturalism in Europe raises economic concerns, particularly around resource strain and labor market competition. The rapid population growth from immigration places pressure on public services like housing, healthcare, and education, potentially straining existing resources and sparking tensions over their allocation. Additionally, worries arise regarding immigrants filling lower-wage jobs, raising concerns about potential displacement of native workers and a subsequent decline in wages in specific sectors. Balancing the economic benefits of multiculturalism with concerns about resource allocation and labor market dynamics remains a key challenge for European societies. However, challenges arise in social cohesion and integration. If people don't understand each other, especially on sensitive topics like religion or gender roles, it can create divisions. This might result in separate communities with little interaction, making it hard for everyone to feel connected and share a national identity. Integration difficulties, like language barriers and resource disparities, can result in social exclusion, fostering tension between immigrant and native groups. Therefore, effectively managing diversity and addressing integration challenges are crucial for fostering a united and harmonious society. Concerns about integration challenges faced by refugees in some European countries have fueled debates about cultural assimilation and social cohesion. Multiculturalism enhances the cultural landscape, weaving a vibrant tapestry of arts, cuisine, and knowledge exchange. Across the continent, food festivals, music concerts, and art exhibitions celebrate diverse traditions, offering enriching cultural experiences for both locals and newcomers. Shared celebrations and community events become platforms for fostering understanding and appreciation of the multitude of customs and practices present in European societies. Importantly, this cultural diversity contributes to a more harmonious coexistence, strengthening the social fabric. Moreover, Europe's multiculturalism extends its influence globally. The continent becomes a hub for international connections, promoting trade, diplomacy, and cross-cultural collaboration. London's vibrant immigrant communities have transformed the city into a global hub for fashion, cuisine, and arts, drawing tourists and businesses from around the world. Multiculturalism in Europe plays a crucial role in strengthening social cohesion through various means. Common ground is discovered in shared values, emphasizing the importance of respecting human rights, fostering understanding, and viewing diversity as a strength rather than a source of division. Intercultural dialogue becomes a powerful tool, promoting open communication and collaboration that helps overcome misunderstandings and build bridges between communities. Furthermore, societies embracing diversity demonstrate increased social resilience, as they are better equipped to handle challenges and conflicts by drawing on a wider range of perspectives and experiences. An illustrative example from Canada showcases how multicultural initiatives can foster social harmony. Events like the Calgary Stampede and Montreal's Jazz Festival, which celebrate diversity through intercultural festivals, attract tourism and cultivate community spirit. This demonstrates the positive impact of multiculturalism, not only as a source of shared experiences but also as a catalyst for building stronger, more cohesive societies in Europe and beyond. Multiculturalism in Europe brings forth challenges related to identity and values. Cultural clashes may arise due to differing values and norms, leading to disagreements on issues such as personal freedom, gender equality, or religious practices. This can result in social friction, making it challenging to find common ground among diverse communities. Additionally, concerns are raised about the dilution of traditional cultural values and national identity, particularly in historically homogeneous societies, due to large-scale immigration. This sparks anxieties about losing a sense of shared belonging and community. Illustrating these concerns are tensions over issues like headscarves in French schools, which highlight varying cultural norms and contribute to ongoing debates about the impact of multiculturalism on identity and values in Europe. Remember to subscribe to our channel if you found this content valuable. We'll see you in the next one.